paper. Created by Couture Foundation. On ICSE's professional program. Group 2 elective paper 7.4. Banking and Insurance Laws and Practice. Lesson 16, Life Insurance. Banking and Insurance Life Insurance. Sample question paper, total, 100 marks. Part I, short answer questions, 40 marks. Answer all questions in 2-3 sentences each. Each question carries 4 marks. Q1. Define life insurance and explain its basic purpose. Answer. Life insurance is a contract where the insurer promises to pay a specified sum of money on the death of the insured or after a certain period. Its basic purpose is to provide financial protection and security to the family of the insured against uncertainties of life. Q2. What is meant by premium in life insurance? Answer. Premium is the amount paid by the policyholder to the insurer in exchange for insurance coverage. It is usually paid periodically, monthly, quarterly, yearly, or as a single payment. Q3. Explain the concept of bonus in life insurance policies. Answer. Bonus is an additional amount paid by the insurer to policyholders of participating policies out of profits. It is usually declared annually and added to the sum assured. Q4. What is a policy lapse? Answer. A policy lapse occurs when the policyholder fails to pay the premium even after the grace period. In such cases, the insurance coverage and benefits are temporarily discontinued. Q5. Define policy revival. Answer. Policy revival is the process of reinstating a lapsed policy by paying overdue premiums along with interest and fulfilling required conditions. It restores the original benefits of the policy. Q6. What is underwriting in life insurance? Answer. Underwriting is the process of evaluating the risk involved in insuring a person. Based on this assessment, the insurer decides whether to accept the proposal and determines the premium. Q7. Explain the term nomination in insurance. Answer. Nomination is the appointment of a person by the policyholder to receive the policy benefits in case of the insured's death. The nominee acts as a trustee or beneficiary of the claim amount. Q8. What is meant by assignment of a policy? Answer. Assignment refers to the transfer of rights and ownership of a life insurance policy from the policyholder to another person. It can be done for consideration or out of love and affection. Q9. Define surrender value of a policy. Answer. Surrender value is the amount payable to the policyholder when the policy is voluntarily terminated before maturity. It is usually available after the policy has run for a minimum period. Q10. What is group insurance? Answer. Group insurance is a single insurance policy that covers a group of individuals under one contract, such as employees of a company. It provides insurance at lower cost due to risk being spread across the group. Part 2. Essay type questions, 40 marks. Answer any 5 questions in 200-300 words each. Each question carries 8 marks. Q1. Explain the concept of premium and discuss the factors affecting the calculation of premium in life insurance. Answer. Premium is the amount paid by the policyholder to the insurer in return for the promise of financial protection under a life insurance contract. It is the consideration for the benefits provided and may be paid as a single premium or in periodic installments such as yearly, half-yearly, quarterly, or monthly. Premiums are generally payable in advance and form the primary source of income for insurance companies. The calculation of premium is based on several important factors. The most fundamental factor is mortality cost, which represents the probability of death at a particular age and is derived from mortality tables. Another key factor is expenses, which include administrative costs, commissions to agents, and operational expenses incurred by the insurer. The expected rate of return on investments also affects premium calculation, as insurers invest collected premiums and earnings can reduce the premium burden. In addition, cost of bonus in participating policies and profit margins are included in the premium. Personal factors such as age, health condition, lifestyle, occupation, and medical history of the insured also influence the premium amount. Higher risk individuals are charged higher premiums. Thus, premium calculation is a combination of risk assessment, cost considerations, and expected returns. Q2. Discuss different types of life insurance plans such as term, whole life, endowment, and money-back policies. Answer. Life insurance plans are designed to meet different financial needs and risk preferences of individuals. The main types include term insurance, whole life insurance, endowment policies, and money-back policies. Term insurance is the simplest and cheapest form of life insurance. It provides coverage for a specified period, and the sum assured is payable only if the insured dies during the term. There is usually no maturity benefit if the policyholder survives. Whole life insurance provides coverage for the entire lifetime of the insured. The benefit is paid upon death, regardless of when it occurs. Some whole life policies may also participate in profits and receive bonuses. Endowment policies combine insurance and savings. They provide a sum assured either on death or on survival up to the maturity period, whichever occurs first. Because they offer a maturity benefit, the premiums are higher than term insurance. Money-back policies are a variation of endowment plans. Instead of paying the entire amount at maturity, they provide periodic payments, survival benefits, at regular intervals during the policy term. However, in case of death, the full sum assured is paid irrespective of the benefits already received. Each plan serves different objectives such as protection, savings, or regular income. Q3. Explain the concept of policy lapse and revival. What are the conditions and procedures for revival of a policy? Answer. A policy lapse occurs when the policyholder fails to pay the premium even after the expiry of the grace period. Once a policy lapses, the insurance cover ceases, and the full benefits are not available. In some cases, if the policy has acquired a surrender value, reduced benefits, paid-up value, may still be available, but otherwise, no benefit is payable. Policy revival refers to the process of restoring a lapsed policy to its original condition. Insurance companies allow revival within a specified period, generally within 2 years for ULIPs and 3 years for other life insurance policies from the date of the first unpaid premium. The conditions for revival include payment of all overdue premiums along with interest. The policyholder may also need to submit a declaration of good health. If the policy has been lapsed for a longer duration, a medical examination report may be required. The insurer may reassess the risk before approving revival. The procedure involves submitting a revival application, paying pending dues, and fulfilling medical or documentation requirements. Once accepted, the policy is reinstated with all original benefits. Revival is important as it helps policyholders regain protection without purchasing a new policy at higher cost. Q4. Describe the process of policy claims and the documents required for settlement. Answer. A policy claim arises when the insured event occurs, such as death or maturity, and the insurer becomes liable to pay the sum assured. In case of a death claim, the nominee must inform the insurance company and submit a claim request along with required documents. The insurer may ask for additional documents within a specified time and may conduct an investigation, especially for early claims, within 2 years of policy commencement, to verify the genuineness of the claim. The claim settlement process involves verification of documents, assessment of policy conditions, and ensuring that all premiums were paid and disclosures were accurate. If no investigation is required, the claim is generally settled within 30 days. If investigation is needed, it must be completed within 90 days, and the claim should be decided within 30 days thereafter. The main documents required include claim intimation, death certificate, policy document, nominee's identity proof, KYC, and medical or hospital records if applicable. Additional documents like post-mortem report or police report may be required in accidental or suspicious cases. Once satisfied, the insurer releases the claim amount to the nominee or legal heir. Q5. Explain the concept of mortality tables and their importance in determining premium rates. Answer. Mortality tables are statistical tables that show the probability of death at different ages within a given population. They are constructed using past data on the number of people surviving and dying at each age over a period of time. These tables help insurers estimate how many policyholders are likely to die at a particular age. The importance of mortality tables lies in their role in calculating premium rates. Since life insurance is based on risk sharing, insurers must estimate expected claims accurately. Mortality tables provide the basis for determining mortality cost, which is the most fundamental component of premium calculation. Higher mortality rates at certain ages result in higher premiums for those age groups. These tables also help in designing insurance products, calculating reserves, and conducting actuarial valuations. Insurers rely on updated and accurate mortality data to avoid underpricing or overpricing of policies. Thus, mortality tables ensure fairness, financial stability, and proper risk assessment in life insurance business. Q6. Discuss the concept of assignment and nomination in life insurance and differentiate between them. Answer. Assignment and nomination are important features of life insurance policies that deal with the transfer of rights and benefits. Assignment refers to the transfer of ownership rights of a policy from the policyholder to another person, assignee. Once assigned, the assignee becomes the owner of the policy and is entitled to receive the policy benefits. Assignment may be done for consideration, e.g., loan, or out of love and affection. Nomination, on the other hand, is the appointment of a person, nominee, by the policyholder to receive the claim amount in case of death. The nominee acts as a trustee or beneficiary but does not become the owner of the policy. The key difference is that assignment transfers ownership rights, while nomination only gives the right to receive benefits. Assignment cancels nomination, except in case of assignment for loan, whereas nomination can be changed by the policyholder anytime. Assignment requires endorsement and registration with the insurer, while nomination is usually made at the proposal stage. Thus, assignment is a legal transfer of policy rights, whereas nomination is a facility for easy claim settlement. Part 3, Case Study, 20 marks. Read the case carefully and answer all questions. Each question carries 2 marks. Case Study. Mr. Sharma purchased a life insurance policy for 10 rupees lakh with annual premium payments. After paying premiums regularly for 3 years, he stopped paying due to financial difficulties. The policy lapsed. After 2 years, he decided to revive the policy. Unfortunately, He passed away shortly after revival. His nominee filed a claim with the insurance company. Questions. Q1. What is meant by policy lapse in this case? Answer. Policy lapse means the insurance policy becomes inactive when the policyholder fails to pay premiums even after the grace period. In this case, Mr. Sharma stopped paying premiums after 3 years, so his policy lapsed and coverage was discontinued. Q2. Can the policy be revived after lapse? Explain briefly. Answer. Yes, a lapsed policy can be revived within a specified period, generally up to 3 years. Mr. Sharma revived the policy by paying overdue premiums and fulfilling required conditions. Q3. What conditions are generally required for revival of a policy? Answer. Revival requires payment of all unpaid premiums along with interest. The policyholder may also need to submit a declaration of good health and, in some cases, undergo a medical examination. Q4. What documents would the nominee need to submit for claim settlement? Answer. The nominee must submit claim intimation, death certificate, policy document, and identity proof, KYC. Additional documents like medical records or hospital reports may also be required. Q5. What factors will the insurance company consider before approving the claim? Answer. The insurer will verify whether the policy was validly revived and all conditions were fulfilled. It will also check disclosures, cause of death, and may conduct investigation, especially since death occurred shortly after revival. Trophy Gold Medal Classical Building Woman Student. Test yourself. Q1. What are the different stages where documentation is required? Answer. Documentation plays a crucial role in life insurance as it ensures transparency, legal validity, and smooth processing at every stage of the policy. The first stage is the proposal stage, where the proposer fills out the proposal form and submits necessary documents such as identity proof, age proof, income proof, and medical reports. This forms the basis of the insurance contract. The second stage is the underwriting stage, where additional documents like medical examination reports, financial records, and verification documents may be required to assess the risk. After acceptance, the policy issuance stage involves preparation and delivery of the policy document, which includes terms, conditions, and benefits. During the premium payment stage, receipts are issued as proof of payment. In case of policy servicing, documents are needed for changes such as nomination, assignment, or address updates. If a policy lapses and needs revival, documents like revival application, health declaration, and medical reports are required. Finally, at the claims stage, documents such as claim forms, death certificate, identity proof, and medical records must be submitted for settlement. Thus, documentation is required throughout the life cycle of a policy, from proposal to claim settlement, to ensure proper functioning and legal enforceability. Q2. Which document evidences the contract of insurance? Answer. The policy document is the primary document that evidences the contract of insurance. It is a legal and binding document issued by the insurer to the policyholder after acceptance of the proposal. This document contains all the terms and conditions of the insurance contract and serves as proof of the agreement between the insurer and the insured. The policy document includes important details such as the name of the policyholder, policy number, date of commencement, sum assured, premium amount, mode and duration of premium payment, and the name of the nominee. It also outlines the rights and obligations of both parties, including conditions under which the claim will be paid. In addition, the policy document refers to the proposal form as the basis of the contract and includes endorsements, if any. It is duly signed and stamped by the insurer, making it legally enforceable under the law. Therefore, the policy document is essential not only as evidence of insurance but also as a reference for any future communication, servicing, or claim settlement. Any errors in the document must be corrected immediately to avoid complications later. Q3. Discuss the provisions of sending renewal notices. Answer. Renewal notices are an important aspect of life insurance policies, especially for policies with periodic premium payments. Insurance companies generally send renewal notices to remind policyholders about the due date of premium payment. This helps ensure continuity of the policy and prevents unintentional lapses. The notice typically includes details such as the premium amount due, due date, grace period allowed, and consequences of non-payment. It may also provide instructions for payment methods, including online and offline options. With increasing digitization, many insurers now send renewal notices through electronic means such as email, SMS, or mobile applications. Although sending renewal notices is a common practice, the responsibility of paying the premium on time ultimately lies with the policyholder. Non-receipt of a renewal notice does not absolve the policyholder from this responsibility. If the premium is not paid within the grace period, the policy may lapse, resulting in loss of benefits. Thus, renewal notices act as a facilitating tool for policyholders, helping them maintain their policies in force, but they do not replace the policyholder's obligation to ensure timely payment. Q4. Which are non-standard age proofs? Answer. Age proof is an essential requirement in life insurance as premium rates depend on the age of the insured. Non-standard age proofs are those documents that are not considered highly reliable or primary evidence of age but may still be accepted by insurers under certain conditions. Examples of non-standard age proofs include school leaving certificate, ration card, affidavit, certificate from employer, and self-declaration. These documents may not be as accurate or officially verified as standard proofs like birth certificates or passports. Insurers may accept non-standard age proofs when standard documents are not available, but they often involve additional scrutiny. In some cases, the insurer may charge an extra premium or impose certain conditions due to the uncertainty associated with such proofs. The acceptance of non-standard age proof depends on the insurer's policies and underwriting guidelines. Therefore, while these documents can serve as supporting evidence, policyholders are generally encouraged to provide standard age proofs for smoother processing and accurate premium calculation. Q5. When the maturity claim is payable. Answer. A maturity claim is payable when the life insurance policy reaches the end of its specified term and the life assured survives the policy period. In such cases, the insurer is liable to pay the sum assured along with any accrued bonuses, if applicable, to the policyholder. The maturity date is clearly mentioned in the policy document, and the claim becomes due on that date. As per the provisions, the insurer is expected to settle the maturity claim on or before the due date of maturity. To facilitate timely settlement, the policyholder may be required to submit certain documents such as the original policy document, discharge form, and identity proof. In many cases, insurers also send advance intimation to policyholders before the maturity date to ensure smooth processing. If there is any delay in settlement due to reasons attributable to the insurer, interest at a specified rate, usually bank rate plus a margin, is payable from the due date or the date of submission of the last required document, whichever is later. Therefore, timely submission of required documents by the policyholder is important. In summary, a maturity claim is payable when the policy term ends and all conditions have been fulfilled, ensuring that the policyholder receives the promised benefits. Q6. Which policies are eligible for bonuses? Answer. Bonuses in life insurance are paid only under participating policies, also known as with-profit policies. These policies allow policyholders to share in the profits of the insurance company. Examples include certain endowment and whole life policies that are specifically designed to participate in the insurer's surplus earnings. Under such policies, the insurer distributes a portion of its surplus, usually a major percentage, to policyholders in the form of bonuses. These bonuses are typically declared annually and added to the sum assured. Once declared, they become guaranteed and are payable either at maturity or on death. Non-participating policies, such as term insurance and most unit-linked insurance plans, ULIPs, are generally not eligible for bonuses. In ULIPs, returns depend on market performance rather than insurer profits, so bonuses are not applicable, although loyalty additions may sometimes be provided. The amount of bonus is not fixed and depends on the performance of the insurer's participating business. Thus, only policies that are structured to share profits with policyholders qualify for bonuses, making them attractive for long-term savings and investment purposes. Q7. Discuss the underwriting process under life insurance. Answer. Underwriting in life insurance is the process of evaluating the risk associated with insuring an individual and deciding the terms and conditions of coverage. It helps the insurer determine whether to accept the proposal and at what premium rate. The process begins with application assessment, where the proposal form is checked for completeness and accuracy. The next stage involves a medical examination, paramedical exam, where basic health parameters such as height, weight, blood pressure, and test results are evaluated. If required, an attending physician statement, APS, is obtained to understand the applicant's medical history in detail. Further checks include Medical Information Bureau, MIB, verification, prescription history, and motor vehicle report, MVR, to assess lifestyle risks. The underwriter also uses actuarial tables, including mortality tables, to estimate the probability of risk. In some cases, financial and credit checks are also considered. Based on all this information, the underwriter assigns a risk classification such as standard or substandard. Accordingly, the policy may be accepted at normal rates, accepted with extra premium, or rejected. Thus, underwriting is a comprehensive process that ensures proper risk assessment, fair premium determination, and financial stability of the insurance company. Thanks to learn with us. You can find more study content on our website couture.com.